It's a product that's frozen in time. The traditional home router. So the routers that you see here range from between 1 to 10 years old. And actually, looking at this photo, it's difficult to tell which is which. In the last decade, technology has advanced by leaps and bounds, but the routers you have still look the same. So today, we're launching our first router, the Mi Router 3C. We don't compromise on design, and the beautiful 3C reflects this. The matte white is subtle and elegant. It fits well not just functionally, but as an object of modern decor. And you can definitely tell that this wasn't made 10 years ago. So we designed Mi Router 3C around 3 key points: smart features, range, and speed. First, let me talk about the smart features. What really sets this router apart is how much more it does than your typical device. It all starts with the Mi Wi-Fi app, which is available on both iOS and Android. All of the smart features are integrated directly into this app. So first, let's talk about setting up a new router. For most people, this can be really frustrating. In fact, I'd guess that most of you had somebody come to your house to install it for you. Well, with the Mi Wi-Fi app, this can be done very quickly and easily. So here, I'm going to show you the setup for the PPP-oE connections, which I think is probably the hardest thing to do. It's pretty simple, just 3 steps. First, you open the app, and it'll detect your new router. Second, you plug an Ethernet cable from your old router to the Mi Router 3C. And then third, we'll automatically import your settings to the new router, and that's it. So like I mentioned, this is probably the most difficult setup, but if you have fiber, all you have to do is swap the wires, and the app will guide you through the rest. So here's some other smart features. This is real-time monitoring. You can see at a glance which devices are connected to your network and how much bandwidth they use in real time. So quick question. How many of you here are parents? That's it? OK. Well, I think the few parents in the audience will appreciate this, or the people who are too shy to raise their hand. Parental controls. We understand that some parents want additional features to control or restrict internet access for your children. With parental controls, you can set up a scheduled time each weekday for your children's internet access after school. You can also blacklist or whitelist certain websites, and you can even set it up to get a notification whenever their devices connect to your network. Next is guest sharing. Every time my friends and guests come over, they always want the Wi-Fi password. But giving away my master password means that anybody can access my network drives, for example. Guest sharing lets you create a unique Wi-Fi login for friends so that I can keep my master password secure. I can also use a really simple password, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So friends don't have to copy complicated things from a paper, or you don't have to remember some crazy password. And then once your party is over, you can just turn it off. So now, for advanced users, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with this. You probably know this number for your own router. It's slightly different for every router. It's the browser-based login to your admin panel, and it's a complicated maze of settings and a minefield of potential mistakes. So one of the most important things that you should do here is to make sure that your router is using the best Wi-Fi channel. For those of you who don't know what this is, let me explain quickly. When you're in an apartment complex, there are a lot of competing Wi-Fi networks around. This is an app that shows you all of the networks around, and you can see here it's pretty busy. So usually what you'd want to do is find out where are the empty channels. In this case, it'd be pretty difficult to do on your own. Once you figure out which channel, you have to log in, and actually on this device, changing the channel is buried in advanced settings, and then you have to change it here. So you have to decide, okay, I'll change it to channel 11. Now, as I mentioned, changing your Wi-Fi channel is the single most important thing you can do on your router to increase signal strength and speed. It reduces interference, and it can have a huge impact on your Wi-Fi experience. But it's so complicated and so buried in these annoying admin settings that most people never do it. So we've made this really, really simple, and it's a feature we call Wi-Fi Boost. It's by far my favorite feature of the Mi Router 3C. Wi-Fi Boost optimizes your network experience by automatically selecting the best channel for you. All you have to do is click a button in the app, and it immediately happens. This is so simple that anybody can do it, not just advanced users. So in summary, here are the smart, useful features on the Mi Router 3C. You get real-time monitoring, guest sharing, parental controls, the amazing Wi-Fi Boost, and of course, most importantly, super easy setup. So we actually created a video. Let's take a look at that. Oh, hey, welcome to my house. So I'm having a party today, and you can see all the guests are here. What do you think is the first thing that people ask when they come to your house? It's not a glass of water. They always ask for your Wi-Fi password. With Mi Router, you don't have to give them your master password. You can actually create a guest network so that all your guests can just use that. They don't have access to any device on your main network. Your neighbors can't use it. And you can turn it off when they leave. So with Mi Router, it comes with a super intelligent app that lets you have full control of your network right from your phone. It's called Mi Wi-Fi. Let me show you a couple of really cool features. You see that dude over there? That's Shubham. He's the guy that consumes all the bandwidth every time we have one of these parties. With the Mi Wi-Fi app, you can actually limit the bandwidth of any device in your network. In this case, let's have a little fun. The other thing you can do is add him to a block list, which completely removes him from the network. With one click, I can just block his device. There you go. Another super useful feature of the Mi Wi-Fi app is parental control. When my cousin comes over, I'm responsible. So I can make sure that he doesn't access any kind of weird websites that'll get me in trouble with my uncle. You can also limit the time of day that your kids are on the network. So since I don't have kids, I actually use this for my parents. So another really great feature of the Mi Wi-Fi app is called QoS. It lets you prioritize traffic on your network. So you can prioritize types, things like videos, and make sure that you're always streaming in high quality. Or you can limit the bandwidth on your guest network. Here, it's Saturday night, so of course we're watching the match. And with QoS, we can see it in perfect high quality. Let's check it out. That was actually my house, by the way. So that's Mi Router 3C. It's smarter than your average router. So next, I want to talk about range. Most of us connect to Wi-Fi when we get home, and a subpar router can lead to a patchy connection, or even worse, the dead zones, places where your Wi-Fi signal just doesn't reach. Mi Router 3C achieves higher speeds at further distances than your typical routers. It transmits ranges of up to 80 meters with high wall penetration. Now, of course, the effective range will vary based on the number and thickness of the walls in your home. But how do we achieve this range? Well, it starts with having good antennas. Here you see some of the antennas from your typical router. Most of them use basic copper. And actually, this one here is just filled with air. Mi Router 3C has antennas that are made up of high-quality copper paired with PCB antennas for much better Wi-Fi coverage and wall penetration. And that's not all. Mi Router 3C has 4 antennas, and all of them are real. Because we have 4 antennas, we can have 2 antennas that are dedicated to transmitting signals and 2 that are dedicated to receiving. And we also alternate them. So this one will be transmit, this is receive, this is transmit, and then receive. And this further reduces any potential interference, which again gives you better signal range. Mi Router comes with 64 megabytes of RAM. Each device that's connected to your network uses some RAM. So having more RAM means that more devices can connect to your network, and you can keep more stable connections. Mi Router 3C has 8 times the RAM of a typical router, and most of them never list how much RAM they have. So this allows us to have up to 64 devices connected at any time. Okay, so this is the most important thing, speed. How does this all translate into speed? It's the thing that everybody cares most about. And Mi Router 3C transmits data faster and at further distances than typical routers. It delivers up to 300 Mbps combined upload and download speed. But maximum theoretical speed isn't what matters most in practice. We wanted to find out how Mi Router 3C performs in a real-world setting compared to other routers in the market. So you might have seen this photo that I put on Twitter a few weeks ago. What we were actually doing with these concrete blocks was setting up various tests with construction materials, things like copper, aluminum foil, mirrors, etc. We wanted to see what would happen in the real world. So how does Mi Router 3C stack up? Here are the results. You can see that at 15 meters, performance is about the same. When you just go 10 meters further away, the D-Link router drops by more than 35%. But if you look at 45 meters, Mi Router 3C has more than 5 times the speed of the second best router. And the TP-Link router, in this case, barely connects at all. We had even better results for upload speeds. Even at the 15-meter mark, Mi Router 3C has more than double the speed of the next router. And again, at 45 meters, it's stark. 10 times the speed, and the TP-Link, in this case, doesn't connect at all. So here are some of the other real-world speed tests that we filmed in my house. Let's take a look. So I'm sure that some of you have experienced at least one of these scenarios in the video, especially the last one, where you have an Uber and you're walking outside and you're trying to check the status, and then suddenly you have no connection. So, price. How much will Mi Router 3C cost? Well, first, let me summarize quickly. Up to 300 Mbps speeds, up to 80 meters of range, 64 connected devices because of the 64 megabytes of RAM, which again is 8 times more than your typical router. We also have 4 antennas, all real. And all of this is easily controlled from the Mi Wi-Fi app. So price? So this is Mi Router 3C. Smarter router, faster Wi-Fi.